Hello VC, this is Headbanging Zulu again. I just thought I'd make a flick for two reasons. Number one, Guilty Forgiven Jim showed a CD I want to expand on a bit. Also to show you some general stuff I've been listening to or I've just recently discovered. The first one, it was quite a surprise to me because I didn't realise it was coming. I forgot all about it, telling the truth. And this is Slayer's 11th album, World Painted Blood. Now this was released in 2009, and this is the deluxe pack. It's got a blood red cover on both sides. It tells you also it's 18 as well. That's the track listing, you can make it out, so if you want to just press pause. And basically it's quite a nice package. You get that sort of piece of perspex or whatever, and it's telling me that there's a parental advisory content, so I better ask Greg Blackmore Rules if I could have his permission to listen to it. The front cover looks a bit like that, and it folds out into a free pack. One CD and one DVD, and obviously it's got a lot of blood splatter. And what you basically get for your money is the CD with all the songs on, and it was produced by Rick Rubin, and I believe he produced stuff for Neil Diamond and Johnny Cash. He's brilliant at bringing sort of old stars back into life, if you know what I mean. A great producer. And you got the DVD, Playing with Dolls, and you get a 20-minute short film inspired by the music from World Painted Blood, written and directed by Mark Brooks. It was a great surprise when I got this, because I tell you the honest truth, I forgot all about it. And I think it came from somewhere abroad or Germany, and it might have took a long time to come, but that's very rare for me. The next one I want to show is this CD, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Jim, Guilty Forgiven, in his last film, held up this CD, and it's a very famous Judas Priest CD. It's a compilation chart, but what many are not aware of, this came with it. You basically bought the CD, and you got this for an extra £11.99. And I believe it was 25 quid for the both, but I might be mistaken. Now this you can still get on a famous site, has the same name as a river that flows through the South American jungle, but I'm not mentioning the name, so I just found out the guy's the richest man on the planet now, and so I want advertising revenue to buy some more records and CDs. Look after number one, that's my motto. Not really. But yeah, I just wanted to make you aware that this came out. The bad news is you can't get it on, I'm pretty sure, and I pray to God that I'm wrong, that you can't get this on DVD. Apparently, if I remember rightly, it was all VHS videos, and it was just before they were announcing DVDs, they were sort of crossing over. And although this was just released on one format, and I've had it because I bought it when it came out, and I put when Jim did his video, I put a little link below and told him about it. Then I had a rummage through my shed and I actually found my copy. But whether you can get it in America, I don't know if any of the American guys, whether Scott Waters, Renee, or anybody else has seen this before, but I just wanted to make people in the VC aware of it, so they no, this wasn't the only thing that came out. This, you had all the old lineup, Tipton, Hill, Downing and Holford, and they did a load of interviews, and you actually could see a lot of the songs they were recording off this. But yeah, it's just something of interest I thought I'd show. Now, this was a CD I purchased in a charity shop, and when I saw this one I thought of Greg Blackmore Rules. It's right up your street, and it's basically glam and rock, and it's mixed with 1977 punk. I recognise that because that's why I bought it, because they're very influenced by Clash and the Pistols. You can hear the riffs come through on this CD. And this CD had the potential to be very, very good. This band were actually formed in 2001, and I really, really enjoyed this band, Towers of London. Now to the negative bit. The only thing I don't like about the CD is the amount of swearing on it. I mean, on some songs it's every other word. If you're a punk rocker, we know you're angry, but just keep the bad language down. I mean, this CD makes Animal by Wasp look like a tea party. It's just every other word there's an F-bomb, you know, and that was very off-putting. But there is some very, very solid tracks on this album, and it's just a great album. I paid about £1 for it, or £1.50 out of a charity shop, but it's just all the bad language on it. It's called Blood, Sweat and Tears by Towers of London, and I'd recommend it, but just be cautioned. You get a lot of bad language. It was just unnecessary to me. And I just discovered a new band, and I know nothing about them, that they come from Orlando in Florida, and I have been playing their CDs a lot because I've only discovered them like 3 days ago, but bear with me. And the band's called Tritium. Now, I got all these CDs for about £10 English. They were going for so cheap, and as a record collector, I do love discovering new bands I've never heard of before. And the first one is called Shogun, and this was a really, really good. I was playing this one this morning. I really, really enjoyed this CD, and I believe the lead singer had voice problems, and I also believe they're releasing another album's coming out soon. I hope you can see the track listing alright, but it was very, very good. The next one, and these two are like the classics. I checked them out online on one of those rated albums or something, and you've got this one, and they're Ascendancy, and they're about the best 2 tracks. On that Shogun, there's a brilliant track, I think, Insurrection. That was worth the ticket money I paid for that album, just for that track alone. And the best way I describe them is like thrash metal with a bit of the new metal, but not too much, and it sort of complements each other. And the lead singer's got a distinct voice. I believe he smashed his voice and was banned from, because I read an article about them. I think it was one of the mags that had a big feature. So they just released a new album. You'll have to bear with me, but I don't have much knowledge on the band, but I really recommend them. They're really, really good. Another album I've got is The Crusade. I believe I might be wrong, they've done 7 altogether, and it's got a killer cover, that on, really good cover, and that's the other CD I own by them, and that's the track listing. I hope you can see that okay. And the next one is called Ember to Inferno. If anybody else knows anything about this band, please can you hook me up in the comments below and just tell me more about them. But me personally, I'm really, really enjoying them. Anyway, VC, thanks for listening to this channel. You're getting a lot of me, 2 in 2 days. That's not too bad for me. And I'd just like to have a big shout out to everybody. I'm really catching up with your videos. I seem to have a bit of fault. I don't know whether it's my YouTube. They're not telling me now when the videos come out, and so I'm having a right game. So I have to go through them all and think, oh, this guy's made a new channel. So please bear with me. Anyway, spread the love, and thanks very much for listening to me again. See ya. Bye.